everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Kerry. Today's topic is going to be foods for brain health. And by brain health, we don't mean that these foods can cure memory loss or dementia, but there's been a lot of research showing that adding these types of foods to your diet can help improve symptoms of dementia, such as Alzheimer's, and can help improve cognitive functions, such as memory. So when we talk about the types of foods that are good for brain health, it's not a coincidence that most of these are the same types of foods that are also great for heart health and just overall health and wellness. And that is because these foods are also anti-inflammatory. And there has been some new research showing that adults who've had chronic inflammation over a period of time also show signs of cognitive impairment and memory loss. So I'm just going to show you some examples of foods you can include for brain health, and also talk about some ways you can fit them into your diet, and then afterwards we'll prepare an entree that includes a number of brain healthy foods. So when we talk about brain healthy foods, we're talking a lot about fruits and vegetables, mainly leafy greens, which have a lot of vitamin E, which is an antioxidant, and also berries. Strawberries and blueberries in particular have been shown to improve memory loss when eaten regularly. Low-fat dairy products like Greek yogurt, healthy fats like olive oil, and the healthy fats in walnuts are an omega-3 fatty acid that are especially great for brain health, as well as different types of fish like salmon and tuna, and that also includes canned. So including canned tuna or salmon in your diet a couple of times a week is also great for brain health. And also poultry is low in saturated fat and also high in choline, which is another contributor to brain health. And choline can also be found in chickpeas and also in eggs. So today we're going to be making a chicken and spinach stir fry, and we're going to be using ingredients like honey and an Indian spice called turmeric that's known for its yellow coloring. But turmeric also has a lot of health benefits, and one of those they've been finding more and more in research is that it can help with memory loss. You can take it as a supplement, but it's a great spice to use as much as you can. You can put it in smoothies. You can use it in stir fries like what we're going to do today. You can add it to soups. And there's really no upper limit to how much you can put in. It's just as much as your taste buds prefer. So we're going to use about 1.5 teaspoons of turmeric today. And we're going to mix it with some flour and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to coat the chicken with it and put it in the stir fry. And other ingredients that we're going to be using, we're going to use about 2 cups of baby spinach and a pound of, this is boneless and skinless chicken tenders. And we're just going to use a little splash of soy sauce at the end. And we're using low sodium soy sauce. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the pan. And while that is heating up, we are going to coat the chicken with the flour and turmeric. You want to make sure both sides are evenly coated. And we're going to cook, these cook pretty quickly, but you want to cook them probably about 2 to 3 minutes per side. And then while these are cooking, we are going to go ahead and make our honey sauce. Okay. All right, so we're going to let that cook a couple of minutes. And for the sauce, it's just 3 tablespoons of honey and 1/4 cup of water. And we're just going to whisk that together until it's pretty well blended. And then we're going to add in 3/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. It's not open. So for the sauce, we're just going to mix together 3 tablespoons of honey, and I just used this kind of honey, with a 1/4 cup of water. And we're going to whisk it around and stir it until it's pretty well blended. And then we're going to add in 3/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And if you're not a fan of black pepper, you can use a little less, or you can use a little more, depending on your taste. Just finish mixing that in, and then we'll set this aside until the chicken is done cooking. Okay, so the chicken is just about cooked on one side, and you can see how yellow it's getting from the turmeric. So we're just going to flip these and let it cook for a couple more minutes on the other side, and then we'll add the sauce. So while this is finishing cooking, I wanted to mention a few other ideas, ways to put brain healthy foods into your diet. Some great breakfast ideas are yogurt, which I showed the low-fat Greek yogurt earlier with some berries, and you can also add a little honey and some chopped walnuts. So while this is finishing cooking, I also wanted to take an opportunity to talk about some foods that are better to avoid for brain health. And these are many of the same foods that we're also told to avoid for heart health. So foods that are really high in saturated fats, like red meat and full-fat cheese, fried foods, butter, thick margarine, also ultra-processed foods like chips and a lot of sweets that are packaged, cookies. And that's not to say you can never have these foods, but just choose them sparingly and have them maybe once a week rather than every day. So now the chicken is pretty much cooked, so I'm just adding in the honey mixture with the black pepper. And we're just going to let that cook for a couple of minutes until it thickens up. And then we'll add in our spinach, a splash of soy sauce, and it'll be ready to eat. So we're just going to add in about a teaspoon of soy sauce. I'm just going to put a little splash in. And then about 2 cups of baby spinach, which is about 2 handfuls. And once the spinach is wilted and shrinks down a little, it'll be ready to serve. And you can eat this just on its own, or I have some cooked brown rice, and I'm going to serve it over rice. You could also have it with some whole grain pasta. It's just whatever you prefer. And if you're not a fan of baby spinach, you can also substitute in other vegetables. You can chop up asparagus, broccoli, or another leafy green like kale. So there are a lot of different things you can do with this dish. So our dish is ready. I put some brown rice on the side, and we have our chicken, spinach, and turmeric stir fry. So I hope you enjoyed this topic, and I will see you next time. Thank you.